a great matchup here for the commander of one of the games involving the commander in chief trophy. You think of the Army Navy game, but it's Air Force. Sometimes has been winning this trophy. We think of the Army Navy game because of the pomp and circumstance in the last game of the year, and I love the Army Navy game. I absolutely make it a point to watch that game every year. I've ditched work to watch. I've never been. That's on the bucket list. If anybody wants to, and I don't know, maybe they'll bring it back out to the West Coast again. Uh, Army Navy. This is Army and Air Force. Here's the thing. Look at the total. It's 32. uh, Service Academy games continue on this massive run of unders. And, it's not just Army, Navy games, it is Air Force games as well when they are involved in the matchups with one another. This total has already dropped massively. Uh, I guess don't forget, don't bury the lead. Air Force does come into this game with an 8-0 record. Um, they do not have a shot uh, at the BCS. I mean, even if they went undefeated, I just don't see a path. Even if all the teams knocked each other out with one loss, I just don't see a path for Air Force to get into the BCS playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see what the polls say today and how far down they are. I mean, they certainly aren't going to be top 10 or anything like that just yet. 17 of the last 22 meetings between these teams have gone under. Air Force, also, let's see, Army, um, 20, let's see, 35, and well, they got a lot of transpoint to the under. That's all. Here's the thing: this season, these two teams are both 4-4 to the on the over under. But when the service academies meet for whatever we know the reason. They mostly run the ball. Time ticks away. They're very good strategically in these games. Defense is good. Defense better be good, right? We don't want bad defense with the military teams. That would be a bad long term strategy for the health of our country. So they better have good defenses. Anyways, Air Force comes in with an 8-0 record. Still, they are 5-3 against the spread. Army 2-6, 2-5 against the number right now. So this one will be played, um, whatever it's called now, Mile High Stadium. This is they're playing this one in an NFL stadium in the Broncos Stadium. Air Force, certain extent, is the home team here. Their games are in Colorado Springs, so there's a little bit of altitude um, adjustment for the West Point uh, uh, cadets to come in here and play this game. Now, this total opened mostly around 36. It did open as high as 37.5 at some spots, and you got to get on it early. Everyone's going to move on this game under. I'm not going to give it out as a premium play here. I'm giving it out. I'm giving it out right here on the show, and I probably try to buy it up just a little bit. Um, 32, yeah, it's kind of a weird number to a certain extent, and I would think you'd have to at least get it to 34, and I don't know what's going to cost you. But you could just play it small, I guess, and still play it at 32. Like I said, all the numbers are good to me. I'm playing it under, and I would think Army and Air Force. Look, this is talk about these thread the needle specials, right? You could figure this one out pretty uh, pretty easy, I would think. What is the score of this one going to be? If you 24-6, is that right? 24-6, 24-7, right there. It can't get 25 is like one of the hardest numbers to achieve in football, even with one of these weird games, right? That's why I always say you got to be realistic in the scoring a little bit when you look at spreads. So 32, you divide it in half, 16. You add 9 points to each team, you've got 25-15. Or well, I mean that's still, or that's not right. What am I talking about? 25. I said it right the first time. 16, 25 to 24 to, I said 24 to 6, right? That's 30 points. 25 doesn't work. 25 is very hard to land on in a football score. Um, it's probably one of the hardest. So 24 points, that's pretty popular. 26 is hard to land on too. Um, you know, so anyways, that's where the score is supposed to land: 24 to 6, 27 to 7, 27 to 6, 27 to 7, 24 to 7, just somewhere right along in there. So you're gonna have to make the decision on what you want to do. I'll just go under. So I guess if I'm going under, and well, I didn't necessarily have a play just yet on the game on the side, so maybe I just better hold off before I uh, spout off the wrong team here, but I think I know. Uh, I think I know where I'm going with the matchup for sure, and maybe we're gonna. I don't know what your preferred military method is, but I like to travel by air, and uh, that doesn't mean Air Force travels by air. We know how they travel, but in military terms, anyways, I'll take the under here as my free play. I think all the values left. You could get 33 though out there for sure right now. I think there will be some people that still will say I don't care. Not everyone knows that all the military matchups go under at this. I mean, I guess everyone does know at this point. That bets feels like, but just been a massive run of unders for these you know military games. That's just the way it's been going, especially the Army Navy game. But right now, just a massive, massive streak. We know Army Navy's gone under in 16 consecutive games. But one thing about some of these games and the way they're going right now is that we think of the games, all these games in the games of going under, 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 and they keep going under, but the total keeps going lower too. And if you look at the final score in comparison to what the total was, there are plenty of games that go over. For example, um, while these games may be going under in the total, for example, there were several games where the totals were 37, 38, or something, and the games were landing 35. So it still goes under, but now that we're making these adjustments even further, for example, the total at 33 and 32, if there were 35, obviously it's going to go over. So all right, Ferner. Oh, thank you, Ferner, and thank you to your daughter as well.